Hello trainers, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go Battle. So today we're going to be talking about Cresselia, actually utilizing Cresselia in Go Battle League for Ultra League. As you may or may not know, Cresselia is #1 through PV Poke. So I just wanted to take a quick look with Cresselia and how we utilized Cresselia in PvP, and without a doubt, let's just jump right in. So what I have right now is PV Poke up online, and I just want to go under rankings here and just go under Ultra League and see that Cresselia is of course #1 right now. And you can tell that Cresselia actually is perfect in many cases, besides the consistency, but you've seen a lot of people use Cresselia as like a lead, as a closer, a switch. I usually see Cresselia sometimes as a lead or a switch, but in this case for battling, I used Cresselia as like more of the end game, and I'll tell you that in a second. But you can see through here that key matchups would be Giratina, Alter, Swampert, Poliwrath, Venusaur, Charizard, and the counters, which, man, the only thing you can see as a counter really is Alolan Muck and Registeel. So in many cases, people use Psycho Cut, which is what we're going to use with Cresselia today, and we'll see a Future Sight and Moonblast. So I didn't have a Cresselia set up with Grass Knot, which I can actually see in maybe some cases through water matchups that it can win rather easily. I believe Grass Knot is a quicker charge attack move than Future Sight or Moonblast. I think it's even quicker with Moonblast, but Grass Knot is something that's really good to use as an alternative. But yeah, without a doubt, Cresselia, the one that I have was from a trade that I did to myself. I do have a baby account, and had one with candies loaded up and Stardust, so I ended up using that Cresselia right there. So IVs are not necessarily ideal for Cresselia for PvP battle, but when you go under Go Battle and Go Stadium, you can see that it's not too far off with the #1 Cresselia, which is okay. I don't think PvP's IVs really matter too much for Ultra League. So I have one here. It's 11, 7, 14. So at least its HP is at its maximum as far as I recall. You know, I wish that the attack and defense IVs were switched, but in some cases the attack helped us in some CMP ties. So if we actually go back into Go Stadium PvP IV checks, this is, if you don't know, Go Stadium has a spread analysis, so you can actually type in a Pokemon and with all its other information. So here I am, for example, typing in Cresselia. I'm going to use it for Ultra League, and it was a trade through Best Friends, and so you can type in the attack stat. So I believe it was 11, 7, and 14, and you can click on the view stats, and you're going to see it's ranked 763, which is not too bad. #1 is 5, 12, 15, but I believe if you actually go through the website, you can see more in detail with the attack, defense, and stamina stats and how it plays out. And I think it wasn't really too far off with what I had with #1. So we're a couple levels down, which is not too bad. And yeah, we're not looking too bad. But without a doubt, we're going to jump into these battles here, and we can see what's going to happen. So my game plan here was to have Cresselia in the back and try to see if I can get Charizard and Swampert to do most of the work and try to maintain as many shields as I can. So at the very end of the match, when I have Cresselia, you have the bulk and you have the shields to protect Cresselia even more. So first in the beginning here, Charizard wasn't going to do any good with Swampert, so we switched in Cresselia without a doubt. I tend to like I say, sway away from Swampert because I just don't like mirror matches sometimes. I feel like it's just too much of a mind game, so I switch into Cresselia. I know it can take some damage with Hydro Cannon or even Earthquake, but in this case here, I believe, yep, I'm going to end up using a shield so I can just maintain a little bit more health with Cresselia, and I'm going to go off with another Moonblast. So Cresselia has been pretty good with Moonblast. There's been multiple occasions where the attack debuffs actually happen, which is really, really great. So as you can see, you know, Swampert, I switch into Swampert with Snorlax because I guess Snorlax is not going to be a good, or I'm sorry, Cresselia is not going to be good with Snorlax matchups, and especially having Cresselia with less than half health. So I have Swampert coming in here. Being as spammy as it is, I'm going to force the shield right here, try to knock down as much damage as possible with Snorlax just to maintain that lead once again. So I'm wanting, again, like to have Swampert and Charizard to maintain most of the damage, most of the work, so Cresselia can do less work in the back when things are all said and done. So I'm going off with another Hydro Cannon here. We're keep pressuring this Snorlax. We finally KO it. So we're going to see a Articuno. So this is now the perfect opportunity to bring in Charizard once again, and they switched into Swampert, so we do have a shield here. So I am going to go with a Dragon Claw, so I think I can knock out Swampert here and just stay in with Charizard so I can finish off Articuno, because all you need is just one Blast Burn and you're all go. You're all said and done. So right here, GG's for the first match. That wasn't too bad. Sometimes I feel like I want to switch out Swampert to maybe Venusaur to counter any Swamperts when they have that switch in for Charizard. But I don't know, I feel like sometimes Swampert does a little bit better with coverage with other Pokemon that we have. So here with the next battle, we have Sceptile. They definitely going to switch in to their Charizard. So again, sometimes I just don't want to do that mirror match. I just switch into Swampert, and they try to bait us for a shield. And my experience so far with Ultra League, every time I have my Charizard versing up against a Swampert, many people don't usually shield, so I just do the same thing now with my Swampert. So surprisingly enough, Charizard had 1 health left, went for another Dragon Claw, so we didn't shield here. We're trying to keep the shields the same. So Sceptile comes back in, not a problem at all. So I go with a Hydro Cannon just to chip some damage, and surprisingly, we just missed out on another Hydro Cannon. So I do shield. I just want to chip away more damage, and swapped into Charizard, and they swapped into their Muck, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just Blast Burn. So Blast Burn does really great with the damage that it can output against many Pokemon, in this case also with Muck as well. So as you can see, it just brought down all the way to the red, and I am going to shield here because we have Sceptile in the back still, so Charizard is just still the best answer for this. So there's not much that Sceptile can do. I'm just gonna bait the shield here, and they'd still let it go. And here we go with Swampert, and they surrender. So GG's for us. So as you can see right now, Cresselia wasn't doing much work. I'm trying not to reveal Cresselia as much as I can, because so far in Ultra League, a lot of people are trying to find that hard counter against Cresselia being as bulky as it is. So here we are with another great lead for us. And we're going to let this go. I know Foul Play is still going to do some heavy damage for us. Shiftry is pretty glassy, but its attack is still very high. It can do a lot of great damage. So they do end up shielding here, and I believe they do a double shield, which I was very, very surprised. Yep, and I think it cost them the game there for them just to fight out with Shiftry, and I just wanted to be sure that the Shiftry can just be finished, because it's going to be weak against Swampert. So when they switch into their Clefable, I actually switch into my Swampert, so it doesn't have to worry about Shiftry. And Hydro Cannon can charge up really quick, and it can really finish off Clefable really quickly. So Meteor Mash is not going to do super effective damage or even neutral damage. So luckily Swampert's still alive. We can expect that shift tree to come back because Swampert is pretty much at its wits. But they bring in a Blaziken, which I'm very, very surprised. So I think they're fishing out that Cresselia. They know, and I brought it in. There we go, another surrender. So it's been that pattern so far, and it's been an awesome feeling. So these battles are not really dragged out. So when Cresselia does have that extra shield or two in the back, and you just throw Cresselia right at the end, so far many people just been surrendering, and it's been a great feeling. So here we are. This is a little bit of a risky battle with Melmetal in the front with Charizard, so we gotta watch out for a Rock Slide. We're going to definitely shield here as much as I want to keep the shield. So we're going to go with a Blast Burn just to get that shield from them. I'll be very surprised if they let go of their Melmetal, but they let go Melmetal. So they bring in their Togekiss. We know this matchup pretty well. So as long as we can get 2 Blast Burns and they don't shield one of them, we're in great lead advantage right here. So they do shield the first one. We're going to go with the second one just before Charizard goes down. And it's going to be looking pretty good if they don't shield, but they do. So that's perfect. We got 2 shields out of the way. Their charge attack was about to go off, but they do switch, which is very interesting. So Swampert, we're going to let go of that Hydro Cannon, and it's a Venusaur. So we're like, all right, you know, we're stuck with Venusaur, and we're just going to chip away damage at this point. In some cases, people would either farm down energy with Swampert, but keep applying this Hydro Cannon pressure. They're going to eventually need to shield or let go a Frenzy Plant, which they do here. And we're just going to bring in our Charizard just to chip down more damage. And they actually let go another Frenzy Plant. So this is awesome for us. We're going to let go Charizard. So they're pretty much not having any energy left with Venusaur. We bring back Cresselia. And, you know, we're just 1 shield ahead. We have full health. There's not much that Togekiss can actually do here. So we're just going to automatically shield. There's really not going to be anything that's going to hurt us. And we're going to go off with the Moonblast. And this should KO Togekiss. And it's GG's for us for this match. So it's been pretty good so far with this lineup. I do want to switch in and have maybe a fighter counter Pokemon, but right now I don't have the resources yet. This team has been still pretty good. It's been a little challenging with the people that keep bringing in some good counters. So here we are right here having Lucario lead, and they switch into their Armor Mewtwo now. Does switching into their switching into Swampert here is any good? I'm not too sure, but I feel like saving that Charizard is going to be clutch because Cresselia is not going to really want to see Lucario. I think Shadow Ball is super effective, but I think it needs 2 Shadow Balls to knock out Cresselia if I'm not mistaken. So here I am just trying to chip away damage with Armor Mewtwo. Armor Mewtwo can be not really a headache, but it's just a little hard just to knock it out because its defense stats are really high. So it makes it somewhat of a bulky Pokemon. So I think we're going to just miss out here with Armor Mewtwo. I believe we're going to bring back Charizard just to build up on some energy. So pretty sure they're going to have Psy Strike. I want to maintain health. I know Cresselia can do well on its own. So we're trying to fish out that other Pokemon here, and it's a Giratina Alter. So it's like, okay, I can chip away damage with Charizard with Dragon Claw. It's going to do super effective damage. We do get the shield here, which is awesome. We're going to, you know, pressure more damage here with Dragon Claw, and we're going to switch into Cresselia. Now, I knew they were going to switch into the Lucario, so we're going to just take off I believe, yep, Future Sight here. It's going to do really great damage, not knocking out Lucario, but we're going to expect a Shadow Ball here, but we can take at least 1 Shadow Ball. And we should have enough energy to maintain that win with Giratina. Sadly enough, if we had Confusion, we can knock out Lucario, but we had to let go of that energy. And here we are, not looking too good. And yeah, I think at this point, I think this was the match that we did lose to, because Charizard can't hold up itself really well. It needs at least, I think, 3 Dragon Claws to finish off Giratina at this point. So I was hopes that I can, actually it would have been 2, but I was in hopes that I can have enough energy charged for Cresselia to finish off a certain attack with Giratina, but nope. A little bit of my mistake here. Not too bad though. We are 4-1 with that match. And like I said, so far with this lineup, it's been really, really fun with having Charizard in the lead. It's usually baiting out any water Pokemon or anything that's going to counter Charizard, but Charizard itself can pretty much maintain anything with grass, with Togekiss, with Poliwrath can be a little bit of a hard battle, but at least we can take some advantage of chipping away damage. But without a doubt, I love this team so far. And here, jumping into the next battle, we have Escavalier. So this is awesome for us. This is another Pokemon that a lot of people are liking to use. Even in this case with Snorlax, I don't really have a problem with now that we have energy advantage. So they let go of Body Slam. It's going to do some pretty good damage for Charizard. Charizard's a little squishy, but we're going to go off with the Blast Burn. So as long as we can come off with like 2 Blast Burns, I would be really, really happy. But here I am switching into Swampert. I know Swampert can charge up attacks a lot quicker than Charizard, and I feel like I can maintain more pressure with Snorlax now that they already let go of one of their shields. So I'm not going to let go shield here. This is going to still maintain more pressure. So I'm going to go off with another Hydro Cannon. I overcharged a little bit with energy just in case something happens. And I have 1 HP left. I was like, oh god, why? So here we go, another Body Slam. Not going to use any shields left. I want to see what they're going to have in the back. They have a Lapras. So I am charging up to an Earthquake. I believe they don't shield if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they don't. So Lapras is actually pretty bulky and it's really, really good through PvPoke, what they say. I forgot which rank Lapras is in, but it can handle Giratina's and any flying types. Togekiss it does really, really well. It has pretty good stamina and defense, so it can take those hits really, really well. So here we are, ready to sneak out another Dragon Claw, and we got the shield from Lapras. And at this point, I'm just going to let go Charizard and let Cresselia do the rest of the work. So we have Moonblast ready to go, and I don't think this takes out Lapras. And we're going to probably have a Surf, or maybe no, actually Ice Beam, I believe. Yep, Ice Beam. So we're just going to shield just because we have it. But yep, we have another Moonblast, and we won this match. GG's here. So I've been loving Cresselia as a closer as opposed to a Togekiss, even though I like Togekiss a lot. Just Cresselia has a lot more HP, has a little bit more of a defense buff, so it makes it a lot easier to maintain those attacks when we need it most. So here we go again. This lead here with Giratina, I'm not too favorable with this match. Sometimes I would just charge up to a Dragon Claw, either let it go or switch into another Pokemon. I don't really want to throw in Cresselia just yet, so I let go that charge attack here, and just because I didn't shield, I'm going to assume that they're not going to shield either. So in this case, I'm just going to let go another attack, and yep, Charizard's not looking too good. So we'll see here if they're going to shield. These matches, as long as we can just chip damage with Giratina, we're okay. But Charizard is really clutch in many situations, and I really hate to have Charizard go down in the very beginning, because you just don't know what we have in the back that can really take that effectiveness from Charizard. So here we go, another Dragon Claw. It's chipping away a lot of damage. I'm not using my shields just yet, and just because Mud Shot's not going to knock out Giratina, we have to let go of Hydro Cannon, because if not, we probably would just have Swampert KO. So here we are facing Empoleon. Not a very good matchup for us right now, because we're just ready to die. And here we go, bringing in Cresselia. It's a neutral battle here, but I think we can rock it out with the 2 shields. So here we go, we have Hydro Cannon as our first hit. We're going to go with Moonblast. Hopefully you can get that attack debuff, because Waterfall and Hydro Cannon is going to cause a lot of damage for Cresselia. So we did get that attack debuff, which is great. Going to let go another Hydro Cannon. And we're going to see here, it's really... I should have probably shielded there, just so Cresselia has that health. But you can see we're just not doing too well with Empoleon. So I'm just gonna most likely throw a shield. Hydro Cannon's gonna come in, and they switch into their Togekiss, and we're like, ooh, not too good. I usually see these matchups, and I'm like, great, you know, both Pokemon, they're down to their red health. Charm is just gonna do that damage alone, and we don't have to worry, and they don't have to worry about anything as far as throwing off a charge attack. So that was good on their part. Wasn't expecting a Togekiss, but have experienced that in other matchups, but not with this lineup of team here. Usually a lot of people would switch in their Togekiss if there was something that's beneficial for them. So here we go, another Swampert lead. Charizard's not good for this. We're going to switch into Cresselia, and it's going to bring out their Muck. I'm not sure if this was the battle, but I do, in one of these battles, double shield just to see how it works in my favor. It's a little bit of a mix-up, but we're going to go with a... we did go with the Moonblast in the beginning. We are going to shield here just to maintain health. Dark Pulse does do a lot of damage. It's super effective against Cresselia. So we're going to go off with the Moonblast, and because we let go our shields, I'm going to assume they are as well too. So they're going to come off with another Dark Pulse again. And is this the battle? Yep, this is the battle that I did double shield. And I want to see if they're going to match my shields here. So I'm going to let it go, and they don't shield, so they want to maintain that last shield. And here we go, we're going to take that hit. And I was thinking I was going to switch, so both of us did a blind switch, so to speak, and I switched into Swampert. I was like, oh crap, this is not good whatsoever. So they don't actually farm us down, they just let go Swampert that quickly, which I was a little surprised, because they could have maybe done double Sludge Bomb and knocked out Charizard a lot quicker, but I'm going to let go a Blast Burn here. I believe they shield. No, they don't. So they're wanting to, oh, I forgot about the Swampert here. So yeah, they brought in their Swampert. Bye-bye Charizard. And Cresselia is just down to the end, and we were lagging. I guess Niantic says, you know what? You just don't deserve this match. Even though you're going to lose, there's nothing else you can do about it. We took away your charge attacks, and that's about it. So that was pretty funny when that happens. But yeah, GG's there. There was no way of coming back with that battle anyways. They played it out really well. So jumping into our next battle. Let's see, what do we have here? We have Snorlax. So okay, Snorlax for us, not too bad. I usually just go with double Blast Burn, and if they shield both, great. In many cases, I don't think they double shields. They usually just stick to one shield. Yeah, I think even at this range, Blast Burn can almost KO Snorlax. Almost. Yeah, see, we can now just Dragon Claw for us, and it's really good. So they Body Slam, and I think, ooh, we just had enough energy and health just to throw off Dragon Claw. So they do shield, so at least they shield here. So yes, we're at a loss and switch advantage or lead advantage, but we're able to take off that one shield. We're not going to shield here. We still want to maintain those two shields. We never know what's in the back. So here we are charging up a lot, and that was like a really aggressive farm down. So here I am ready to let go all these Hydro Cannons, and we have a Giratina, so we do have enough energy for Earthquake. Do they shield here? They don't. So this attack from Giratina is not going to knock us out. We have Dragon Claw. I'm thinking, should I switch into Cresselia? At this point, I do. And it should be a Dragon Claw. So it's not going to be that much damage. And they switch into their Clefable. So here I am just going to go with Moonblast. I think it's neutral damage, and we're just in hopes of getting that attack debuff and see what happens. So here I am just charging again. Their Meteor Mash should be coming in really soon. So they do end up using that last shield. I was very surprised that Charm does that much damage to Cresselia. So they do Meteor Mash. I just used that one shield. I switched back into Swampert, and I was thinking that maybe Meteor Mash would come in again, but maybe I don't know what I was doing there. So Giratina comes back. We have one shield. We were at the very, very end here, and we got pretty lucky letting go of that Meteor Mash or Moonblast Meteor Mash, and GG's there for us. Really, really good. So jumping into our next battle. So with this team alone, if I'm not mistaken, I got up almost 125 points, give or take. Definitely 100 points. The team is doing really, really well. I still want to maintain this team maybe a little bit more. I was really hoping to throw in Obstagoon in this case to have a counter Night Slash kind of mix up with Cresselia. I think it would work really, really well. I wouldn't be too sure if I want to keep Swampert or Charizard, because Charizard has been clutch in the very beginning. Even with Swampert, it's been pretty good with coverage. So they swapped into their Giratina here, and I, stayed in with Swampert and caught off with the Earthquake, which was great. We got at least half that damage gone. So Dragon Claw right here. We're gonna charge up into another Earthquake, but I believe I was gonna shield or bait for a shield. So I automatically shielded here. So this would help me influence that shield from the other trainer, which they do, which is great. And I'm going to charge up to another Earthquake. This should just let go their Giratina. I doubt they're going to double shields. And here we go. And we're going to see what they bring in next. And they brought in their Charizard. So I'm going to shield in hopes that we can bring in... Well, I did switch in my Charizard and went for Blast Burn, but I was hoping that they would... Ooh, Cresselia. So it's interesting that they shielded their Cresselia with Blast Burn, but we have enough energy here for another Blast Burn. I think they were lagging out there for just a little bit, but not too bad. Blast Burn does a lot of damage against Cresselia. So we're just going to let go our Charizard here, and we're going to bring in, I believe, Swampert. Yep. So we have enough energy for Earthquake. But I think, I don't know, man. That lag, I don't know if that was lag or just a very terrible CMP tie. But that Earthquake would have probably almost knocked out Cresselia. But we're such an advantage now with this mirror match that we can just win this game. So we're just going to charge up for a double Moonblast. And we're just going to let them go, and that's just pretty much it. GG's for us. So it's been tricky sometimes. The past couple days when I was utilizing this team, it seems like, again, the lag has been pretty strong in those moments. Not in the case where I've seen in other battles from YouTubers that they have to go out of their game, sign back in, and jump into the battle. I can't imagine that whatsoever, but here we are going with Cresselia, finishing up Charizard, and that is it. So GG's right there. And yep, that was a 3-2, almost a 4-1, but overall I've been pretty happy with this team. I have yet gone in the negative as far as rankings go. So with our matches, we're at least getting 3-2, 4-1. I think maybe a 1-5-0 if I'm not mistaken, but we've been pretty positive with going up in the ranks. It's not really amazing, but we've been slowly creeping up. So in this case here, it was 22-04. I think I went up another battle with 3-2, so I went up just a little bit more. But without a doubt, if I can't find another Pokemon, which I'm trying to see if I can get an Obstagoon up to 2500. The resources are very high with the Stardust, but if I don't get to that point, this is going to be the team I'm going to probably use until I finish up Ultra League, until we get into Master League. But hey, without a doubt, it's been fun so far. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this content, and like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. But without a doubt, my friends, keep battling and have fun. Until next time, see you later, guys.